Someone said in the comments that I need to come up with a better intro than "What's up, Internet?" But I am talking to the internet. You guys are on the internet. What's up, boys and girls? Welcome back to another video. An exciting milestone. We have the heat cranked. It is 26 degrees outside. My heated seat is on. My heated steering wheel is on. We'll talk about that in a second. But as of tomorrow, I will have owned the S6 for 1 month. And as of later today, I will have driven 1,000 miles in it. Hello, autofocus. I'm right here. I'm right here. There we go. If it goes out of focus at any point during this video, I'm sorry. My autofocus has been a little wonky lately. I've also been considering upgrading my camera, so we'll see what happens there. But I wanted to give you guys some initial thoughts on the S6. I know a lot of you are driving S4s, Mark 7s, all that fun stuff, and if you're like me, the S6 is kind of an attainable next step, and for me also something of a dream car. I got my new mute button down here. I hardwired my radar detector. That's why you see no wire anymore. So like I said, if you are like me and you're thinking about an S6, you probably want to know what it is like to own one. If you don't know, the main issue on these cars is the oil screens before the turbos. They tend to clog. When you shut the car off, the fans can only do so much, and so heat gets contained in the V there, and the oil actually starts to cook, and so it'll leave these little carbon deposits, and then when you go and you run these through a tiny screen before the turbos, that screen over time gets clogged up, and then you don't get oil to your turbos, and then the turbos end up eating themselves, and then you end up doing RS7 turbos, which is not the end of the world. But I actually went ahead and I had a PCV service done on this car, and also while it was in, had them take out the oil screens because they were right in there. So I do not have oil screens anymore. I'm happy to update you guys in the future how that goes. I'm sorry about the lighting, it is very harsh. So that is kind of the main issue on these cars that's taken care of. Now once I got it out of there, I threw a check engine light on my drive 2 days ago for O2 sensor. That may be a future video depending on if it comes back or if it was just a one-time thing. I'm expecting more maintenance with a 4.0. I've owned a 3.0 T for the past 3 years now, and I knew what I was getting into with the 4.0. They are not bulletproof like the 3.0. They're not unreliable, but they're not bulletproof like the 3.0 is. I'll talk you through some of the things that I really enjoy about this car. First, if you can't tell from the past 2 videos, I'm really enjoying the factory air ride. I'm having a lot of fun playing around with it. We actually just got the controller installed last night, so there'll be a video coming on that as well. Huge shout out to my homie Jacob for helping me out with that, and JR for staying late. I appreciate you too. But I'm really enjoying the idea of varying my car's ride height depending on the conditions that I'm driving in. Now for some of you who have been on air ride for forever, you're like, duh, that's the whole point of air ride. We've been telling you to get air ride forever, Eli, but I just haven't bit the bullet. So now I'm really having fun, being able to raise for bumps. If I'm going on a, bumpy lot or over speed bumps or whatever, you just hit raise. You don't have to worry about anything. It's a really nice interface that Audi puts together. But overall, the air ride has definitely been a big plus and something that I've really enjoyed playing around with, learning about, and messing with. And I guess that's something that I should say about this car in general is that obviously I did my research before I bought it, and I've been researching them for the better part of 4 years. There's a lot to learn about these cars that I didn't know until I got in it. Like when I got the SQ5, it was basically an S4 with a ZF. There wasn't that much crazy stuff to learn about it. But with the 4.0 in a different chassis, with a 7-speed DSG again, it just feels fresh, it feels new. It's nice to be back in a sedan. It's fun, it's new. It feels like, I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like my passion for fiddling with things and for internet research has come back, because on the S4 it got to the point where I was offering more advice than I could take in, and right now I'm at that phase where I'm taking in more advice than I can offer, and I really enjoy that phase. Not that I don't enjoy helping people, but I really enjoy just learning. Other things that I've been enjoying about this car, good and bad, it is unbelievably quiet in here. Obviously you hear some road noise because I don't have the heat on or anything, but we're doing 80 miles an hour right now, and I can talk to you like this and you can still hear me. Honestly, there's more road noise from other cars than this car, and I'm on winter tires, which definitely don't help as far as road noise goes, which means the difference between 70 miles an hour and illegal speeds is how hard you press the gas pedal. Honestly, the wind noise and everything else does not really change. This is a very refined highway cruiser, and I guess if I'm gonna go super in depth in this video, which I guess we are, so buckle in everybody, my driving is almost exclusively highway driving. There's really no good back roads in the Boston area, and a majority of the driving that I do, I commute to Connecticut for work, is highway driving. So the car that I was looking for is not something that I can go out and rip back roads in, although I'm sure this would hold its own. The car that I'm looking for is that car that can do between 70 to whatever miles an hour consistently, comfortably, and just cruise. This car so far has checked absolutely every single one of those boxes. That includes these seats, which are more comfortable than my S4 seats, believe it or not. They're like softer, they have more padding, but the bolstering is still there, let alone the fact that they're red. But these seats are really, really good. So if you ever have a chance to sit in an S6 in the near future, go ahead, sit down, tell me what you think about the seats. The other surprise for me was the steering wheel. I honestly was kind of bummed that I had found a spec with the, you see me look over here to hit the mute button, only I realized I have it over here. The other thing that I was kind of bummed about this car is that it's spec'd with the cold weather package, which if you didn't know, that means heated steering wheel, heated back seats, and Audi doesn't do a flat bottom steering wheel that's heated, so you end up with this round steering wheel. Now, I'm kind of bummed as far as the looks go. I think it would look cooler in here if it had a flat bottom, but this is actually not a bad looking steering wheel, and the heated factor on it, the fact that, you know, you rest your hands right here where you're supposed to drive, and there's like heat going in your hands. You don't even have to wear gloves on cold days. Like the steering wheel heats up before the seat does, because leather, which I would have gotten Alcantara if it was an option, but the steering wheel heats up before the seats do, and you just kind of rest your hands on it, and it warms you up. This is great. I honestly, not something that I would have thought that I would really like or need, but heated steering wheels, man. I'll jump into a couple things that I don't like. The first is I really hate this digital fuel gauge. It's like little LED lights that show you how much fuel is in the car, and then on the top left of the screen it has the amount of range left. I think that's super lame. I would like to have a little needle over there that's more exact than just going in 1/8 of a tank measurements. The same with the coolant gauge, but I do like that they gave me the extra stuff, which we enabled in the last video. Yeah, last video, with the lap timer where you can read oil temp and you get boost gauge and all that fun stuff. So definitely not the end of the world as far as the gauges go, but I wish that they were better. I also wish that they were easier to read and a little more precise. I also wish there was an option to get these cars with the sport exhaust without the sport differential, because if you didn't know, the sport differential and higher power S6s don't get along very well, but this car is like whisper quiet with the stock factory whatever exhaust. My homies at AWE are already taking care of it. They already have an exhaust in the making for me, so I'm not so worried about it. But man, if there was an option to get a sport exhaust with an otherwise not sport car, that would be sick. So overall, I mean, I could not be happier with this car. I get in the car, like still pinch myself that it's mine, and just it's just a wow car. Like it's really good. It's not that fast. The SQ5 was definitely faster on kill, and it's probably is still faster right now. But it's not slow either, and it really tacks on speed quick as you get closer to over 70 miles an hour, we'll say. Anyway, look for the suspension module install coming in the near future. Also look for some other fun stuff. I gotta figure out what summer wheels to run on this car, so if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. I think I'm gonna stick to 20s. I'm low enough that I can pull off 20s. I'm also at -30 on my ride height right now and no rubbing. not bad. We will, I'll catch you guys on the suspension install likely next, although I do want to make a video about how much of a pain in the butt the oil change was on this car. I don't know why they made it so difficult, but they did. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry about the awful lighting. I imagine the autofocus was pretty wonky this video too, but as always, appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Go out there and spread some positivity, and I will catch you guys in the next video.